to the World News Bulletin of Millennium TV USA. This is Dima Nefertiti with you in the news. First, the headlines. 12 dead in terrorist attack on Paris weekly. Gunman at large. AirAsia Flight 8501 black boxes could have buried, Indonesian official says. Police fatally shot man at Ohio airport. North Korea was behind cyber attack, tells FBI director. 22 years old Bangladeshi woman to take oath in city council in USA. Masked gunmen stormed the Paris offices of a weekly newspaper that caricatured the Prophet Muhammad, methodically killing 12 people Wednesday, including the editor, before escaping in a car. It was France's deadliest post-war terrorist attack. Shouting Islamic slogan as they fired, the men also spoke flawless, unaccented French in the military-style noontime attack on the weekly newspaper Charlie Hebdo, located near Paris Bastille Monument. The publication's depictions of Islam have drawn condemnation and threats before it was firebombed in 2011. Although it also satirized other religions and political figures. France raised its security alert to the highest level and reinforced protective measures at houses of worship, stores, media offices, and transportation. Schools closed across Paris, although thousands of people jammed Republic Square near the site of the shooting to honor the victims, holding aloft pens and papers reading "Josu's Charlie, I am Charlie." President Barack Obama called Wednesday's deadly shooting at a satirical newspaper in Paris cowardly evil attacks on journalists and free press and vowed to help France pursue the terrorists who went on the run.
I think that all of us recognize that France is one of our oldest allies, our strongest allies. They have been with us at every moment when we've, from 9/11 on, in dealing with some of the terrorist organizations around the world that threaten us. For us to see the kind of cowardly, evil attacks that took place today, I think reinforces once again why it's so important for us to stand in solidarity with them, just as they stand in solidarity with us. The fact that this was an attack on journalists, attack on our free press, also underscores the degree to which these terrorists fear freedom of speech and freedom of the press. But the one thing that I'm very confident about is that the values that we share with the French people, a belief, a universal belief in freedom of expression, is something that can't be silenced because of the senseless violence of the few.
Obama said the attack that left 12 dead in France's deadliest terror attack in at least 2 decades is a reminder that such tragedies can occur anywhere in the world. He promised to stay vigilant and hunt down and bring the terrors of this specific act to justice and to roll up the networks that help to advance these kinds of plots. The tail of the AirAsia plane that crashed into the Java Sea has been spotted, but an Indonesian official says the tail is upside down and partially buried, with the assumption that the plane's black boxes could be buried in mud. Suraya G., the director of operations at Indonesia's National Search and Rescue Agency, said equipment such as a crane or floating balloon are being prepared to lift the objects. The process has not yet begun, he said. Authorities released underwater images last Wednesday showing the wreckage. Bambang Solistio, the head of Indonesia's National Search and Rescue Agency, said the letters A and X were visible, along with the stylized dot in Asia Air's logo matching the plane's tail. The plane was carrying 162 people when it crashed December 28. Up until now, 46th bodies have been recovered. The water at the crash site is shallow, but this is the worst time of the year for a recovery operation to take place due to seasonal rains that have created choppy seas and blinding mud and silt from river runoff. There is strong evidence that North Korea was behind the cyber attack on Sony and that the leadership there will orchestrate further strikes against American targets, top US officials said last Wednesday. An ongoing investigation has found that North Korea had sought to use proxy servers to conceal the Sony hack. FBI Director James Comey said at a cybersecurity conference in Manhattan. But the hackers sometimes got sloppy and sent messages that could be traced to IP addresses used exclusively by the North Korean government, he said. I have very high confidence about this attribution to North Korea, as does the entire intelligence community, Comey said. Last Wednesday, Director of National Intelligence James Clapper said North Korea will continue the attacks against American interests unless the United States pushes back. A first Bangladesh councilwoman of Hilden County in New Jersey, Tahsina Ahmed, was sworn on January 1, 2015. Tahsina's family and friend, among others, were during the swearing ceremony. In Hilden, Tahsina Ahmed is the first Bangladesh woman to be elected as a councilwoman. Tahsina says that she doesn't know much about the nuts and the bolts of the government. Things like fixing roads, balancing budgets, and keeping the streets clean, but she is willing to learn. I know it sounds like cliché, but I grew up in this town and I want to give something back, Tahsina says. Newly appointed Special Representative of the UN Secretary General and Head of UN Mission for Ebola Emergency Response, Ismail Oud Sheikh Ahmed, said he has mixed impressions on the effectiveness of the fight against Ebola in Liberia.
The reason I said it's mixed because I think we are at a stage where we are not yet there. And this is what we want also to convey through the press. There is certainly a lot to be done still in order for Liberia to be declared Ebola free. And it's only on this moment of optimism and some relative success that sometimes we are worried that there is any degree of complacency or people start being self-satisfied.
Police say a 15-year-old girl who killed her 16-year-old brother accused her family of years of physical and sexual abuse. Police documents released last Wednesday said the girl's uncle was convicted of molesting her in 2010. They also say the children's mother discovered the siblings having physical relation. The girl told investigators after the shooting that her parents routinely kept her locked in a room with only a blanket and a bucket to urinate in. The shooting happened Sunday. Police say the father is a truck driver and his wife goes on trips with him, leaving their children at home. While they were away, the girl broke into her parents' bedroom and got a handgun while her 11-year-old sister kept watch. The girls are in juvenile detention. Their parents are facing charges. A Columbus airport police officer fatally shot a man during a confrontation Wednesday afternoon just outside the terminal, an airport official said. The man, whose name wasn't released, was shot at about 1 p.m. just outside the departures area of the Port Columbus International Airport, said David Whitaker, a Columbus Regional Airport Authority vice president. The officer wasn't injured.
There was a confrontation with the police officers as they responded to the call to respond. And through that confrontation, the person who was causing the confrontation was shot and killed by CRA police officers. We don't think that there's an ongoing threat at the moment. We believe the situation is contained, as I've described. The passengers are being told exactly what I'm telling you and the reason for our precautions moving forward here. There was a threat, and we were responding to that. I would like a little bit more time to characterize that.
Verbal threat?
A confrontation. Confrontation with our police officers that resulted in a shooting.
There was a threat and we were responding to that. It was indeed a confrontation. The man was believed to have arrived at the airport alone, but I didn't know if he was scheduled to be on a flight, said Whitaker. The departures area was blocked off Wednesday afternoon, but the airport said flights were running as scheduled. Whitaker added, "We don't think that there is an ongoing threat at the moment. We believe the situation is contained as I have described." The State's Department of United States has expressed its concern about ongoing political violence in Bangladesh. The United States has urged the government of Bangladesh to ensure free movement of the citizens of Bangladesh. In a written reaction to a query of the Millennium TV on a recent political situations in Bangladesh, a spokesperson of the State Department expressed the US's great concern and did regret the loss of life, injury and damage to the property. The spokesperson also emphasized to people's rights to peaceful political expression in Bangladesh. Dear viewers, that's all for now. Stay with the Millennium TV USA. See you next week. Goodbye.